Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And today we're going to talk about a very polarizing, classic, vintage, animalic, soapy fragrance, and that's going to be Bal à Versailles. Yes, I decided to talk about this fragrance because the king of pop himself used to wear this fragrance, and that used to be his signature scent, Michael Jackson. When I found out that Michael Jackson used to wear this, I had to try it out. I had to find out what it smells like. And I was pretty surprised when I smelled it. As some of you know, this is a very old fragrance. This was initially launched in 1962, and the nose behind this fragrance was Jean Desperez. This fragrance has a very old DNA to it. Now, Jean Desperez was trying to capture the smell, the essence of the Versailles Palace. And as you know, in Versailles, there were a lot of ball parties, there were court sessions taking place, it had big libraries, and it had also a lot of other stuff that was going on that I'm not aware of. But with a lot of that history came a specific scent with it. And that scent by Jean Desperez was captured in this bottle. Now, this bottle that I am holding in my hand, it's from a 2008-2009 version, which was reformulated from the original one that was launched in 1962. This fragrance, when you smell it, as I said, it's very polarizing. Just from the bottle, I get hit with a lot of animalic notes. It's very musky, it's leathery, and it's also very powdery. On the initial spray, yeah, I get tons of animalic note. That must be definitely the civet. I get muskiness, I get leather, I get a lot of powdery. It's very balsamic, and at the same time it's woody, and that's why Bal à Versailles, it's a woody fragrance, and it was marketed towards women, and I said earlier in my video. But I think after spraying it and wearing it a couple of times, I think a man can definitely pull this fragrance off as well, because it has some harsh notes in it. So as far as the note goes, this fragrance has a lot of notes in there, and I have to read some of them off because there's so many notes that I couldn't memorize them, so I have to kind of read them off. So the top notes of this fragrance are lemon bergamot, jasmine, Bulgarian rose, it has rosemary, and it has orange blossom. So as you can tell, it has a lot of fruity and floral notes on the top, which they actually don't come out as floral. They come more as type of a soapiness, because the balsamicness in this fragrance and all those heavy base notes, they literally grab the top notes and they turn them into this soapy smell, and it's not as floral as you would think by reading all these notes for you. Now, the middle notes in this fragrance are sandalwood, patchouli, you got lilac, you got orris root, which makes it very powdery, you got ylang ylang, which gives it that sweet pungent note to it, and you got one of my favorite, lily of the valley. It's very beautiful, still makes it a little bit floral, and you of course have leather, which I can definitely smell it in this one. It's very leathery, it's very strong. Now, as far as the base notes goes, you got Tolu balsam, which makes this fragrance extremely balsamic. You have amber, as you can tell from the color and the smell of it. It's very ambery, and therefore it's a woody fragrance. You got tons of musk in here. You got a lot of benzoin in here because it's so pungent, it's so strong. And you got vanilla, it's a sweet fragrance. You got cedar, you got tons of resins. It makes a smoky, resiny. And you got a big dose of civet in here, which is right down my alley. So this fragrance is in the category of Chanel number 5. So if you would spray Chanel number 5 for someone and they wouldn't see the bottle, they probably would not like it. And I think the same thing goes for this fragrance. They have this very old DNA to them that they're not mass appealing anymore. They're outdated. But a lot of fragrance collectors, they would definitely love this fragrance, including myself. I think it's a beautiful fragrance, and I think the dry down on this fragrance is even more gorgeous. It becomes almost gourmand-like when all the animalic notes, they fade away, and you're left with the vanilla, with amber, with benzoin, with cedar wood, and then you got the tolu balsam, and then the orris root. All that stuff make this fragrance very, very beautiful, and it makes it a cozy fragrance and a perfect fragrance for winter time. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the performance and longevity of this fragrance. You can tell already that this fragrance is going to be a performer. It performs phenomenal, and longevity lasts for a long time. It does 7 to 8 hours. And for that, I will give it an 8 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the sillage. The sillage is phenomenal as well because it has all these heavy notes in there like leather, civet, benzoin. It has musk. It has amber. All these notes, it has resins, all these smokiness to it. All these notes, they carry themselves really well, and they leave a very nice sillage behind you. So I think the sillage is very good, and I would give it also an 8 out of 10 as far as the sillage goes. Now, let's talk about uniqueness of this fragrance. As far as uniqueness goes, like I said, it's an outdated fragrance. The DNA of this fragrance has been played out a lot, so I don't find it very unique. Maybe in this era now that they don't have this DNA as much, it's a very unique fragrance, but I would give it a 5 out of 10 as far as the uniqueness goes. Now, let's talk about the versatility of this fragrance. This fragrance is not a very versatile fragrance. You definitely have to have the right outfit for it. Like you saw at the beginning of the video, the gowns that these ladies are wearing, or something that really screams out. Something like from 1600s, some gowns from 1600s, some jackets for men from 1600, that type of an outfit. It goes for a special party, a party that themed after the Versailles parties and stuff like that, or a mask party or whatever. That's when you can definitely pull this off, something that goes back in time. So it's not a versatile fragrance, and also as far as like the time of the year, you cannot definitely wear this in summertime. It's too potent, it's too heavy. The same thing for spring, but definitely winter and fall will do just fine. Especially winter time, it is a cozy fragrance and it will do phenomenal. Now, as far as the versatility, I would give it a 5 out of 10. That's what it gets. Now, compliments are going to be very tricky with this fragrance. If you wear it in the right occasion, if you wear it for the right occasion and for the right event and with the right outfit, you will definitely get a lot of compliments, which we already talked about at what kind of events. In those events, you will get your compliments. People will be very excited. You also will get compliments from fragrance lovers, frag heads, people that are into fragrances. They will definitely appreciate this DNA, and they will definitely comment on it at least. What are you wearing? What is this? It smells familiar, or it smells old schoolish. What is this? It smells like some collector item. And so therefore you will get a lot of compliments. Now, the dry down can also get you a lot of compliments because it becomes sweet. The vanilla comes out, the benzoin comes out, the amber stands out, and it literally almost becomes a gourmandish type of a fragrance. So as far as the compliments goes, because it depends on certain scenarios, I would give it a 5 out of 10. And now something interesting though to tell you, that this fragrance got a lot of good reviews on Fragrantica. A lot of people love this fragrance and they go crazy over this fragrance. So I would say get a sample, give it a try, or even buy the bottle, because they're not really that expensive. On eBay you can find some. If you find a legit bottle, get it and try it out. It's at least good to have in your collection if you're a fragrance head and if you're into fragrances. And that's all I have for Bal à Versailles. We get to the end of my video, and hopefully see you guys soon with another video. Bye.